Sometimes a WWE game is hyped a lot. Sometimes it turns out to be Smackdown Here Comes the Pain, one of the best. And sometimes, well, imagine you're told that you are going to see AJ Styles wrestle. You go to the event and you see Dana Brooke wrestle. You feel the disappointment? That's what I'm talking about. And don't get me wrong, the games that I'm going to mention are actually liked by me. But some of them were just that damn overhyped. And it wasn't that good. We're watching top 5 most overhyped WWE games that left us disappointed. Number 5, WWE 12. After SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, the brand split ended, so they decided to change the name to WWE 12. Pretty boring name, but what can you do? Randy Orton is on the cover, which is a good thing in my opinion. Lesnar returned to the game, so the roster was pretty damn good. But to be honest, game wasn't better than SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. The Road to WrestleMania mode was already dead to us, and it wasn't a good one either. It was too long and the storyline wasn't the best. And while I was playing it, I just tried to convince myself that it was actually good, but I failed. The gameplay was alright, but the game needed a lot of change. Most of the things were fixed in WWE 13, so that's a good thing. They introduced Create an Arena, which was only to create a ringside. The backstage areas were worse and didn't even have any weapons. All in all, the game was good, but after all the hype, it disappointed. Number 4, WrestleMania 21. I use this game as an example that graphics are not the most important thing in a video game. Because this video game actually had great graphics at that time, it still looks great, even today. So when we saw the graphics, we thought like this is going to be the WWE game. Turns out it's just a little piece of shit. It's like getting a chocolate cake, you grab a slice and you see that it's shit in the middle. So basically it's shit covered with chocolate. Well, this is a bad game covered with good graphics. That's probably the best example I have ever done. I'm really proud of myself, talking about shit on a video. And the AI is the worst. I have never seen worse AI than in this game. Not even TNA, SmackDown vs. Raw, 2K14. This game was the worst. So the only good thing about this game was my career. Number 3, SmackDown vs. Raw. The biggest problem about this game is that it came after SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and you already know what that means. You can't just beat that game that easy. And it didn't. The only better thing was the graphics, and that's arguable. Fans were hoping that the sequel would be just as good. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The backstage areas were more limited, the season mode was too short and too scripted, the voiceover were just terrible to listen. And the game was good, but after having SmackDown Here Comes the Pain and having a new name, instead of SmackDown games, it was SmackDown vs. Raw, so it was hyped a lot, it disappointed a lot. WWE 2K15. The biggest reason is obviously that it's the first game on the next gen, currently the current gen, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. 2K14 was one of the better WWE games, like it was nearly a perfect game for Xbox 360. The only thing that was lacking is that it didn't have a career mode, which was very bad. Other than that, the gameplay was good, the creation suite, all these things were just kinda perfect for that console. 2K15 drops, we don't even have Create an Arena anymore, half of the match types were deleted, the roster was half the size of the last year, and one of the worst career modes ever made. And you can't even create a diva. The only good thing about this game was, look, the graphics are great. Yeah, we can't blame 2K for that because, you know, it was the first game, but it doesn't mean that it was not overhyped. It was hyped as the first WWE game on next gen. We played the game, it's freaking bad. I'm not gonna say that I did not enjoy it, but there were too many limitations. And the number 1, WWEF Raw on Xbox and PC. Where do I start? I have to say that this is my least favorite WWE gamer, like the worst game you can ever imagine. I didn't had any console, so that was the only game I played for 2 years probably. You know, there were a lot of mods for this game. Like, the game was made like in 2000 or 99, and there were mods of 2010, 7, 6, so I had those. And let me tell you how much I hated it. Okay, now why is this overhyped? This is the first Xbox game, and not only that, the first PC game. And the later PC game that we got is actually 2K15, so how many years? So because of that we got a lot of mods. Thinking about it just makes me throw up right now. It lacked so much, literally no game mode, only create a superstar, no any gimmick matches like cage, hell in a cell, table, ladder, like you got my point. Anything. 1-on-1, 2-on-2, triple threat, fatal 4, tag team. No title matches. Should I even talk about the gameplay? The gameplay was terrible. Playing with action figures felt more entertaining than this. So I think this is the most overhyped WWE game ever and one of the worst. Like, the disappointment in this is just too much to handle. So I think these are the most overhyped WWE games that left us disappointed. A lot. Let me know in the comments below your own experience where you waited for a game to come out, you play the game for the first time and you think, well, this is not as good as I expected. Make sure to like this video if you cannot wait for 2K17 career mode on this channel. I hope it doesn't fail, because if it fails, I can already feel the disappointment in my heart. Thanks for watching, make sure to like. Thegreatone, peace, love and hugs, it's been a pleasure.